YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of Ahead of the Game. We got another instant reaction. We just had the Vikings and the Bears play. Hell of a game. This is a very good week. Very good NFL kickoff week. And like I said, it's gonna be a good week as long as the Raiders win. As long as I don't care if I don't got nothing to eat. As long as the Raiders win, it's gonna be a good week. No, but don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notice. Like I said, I love when you guys comment. I love talking to you guys. It's the best season of the year. Let's get right into it. Just looking at this game, man, this was a very interesting game because you had two young quarterbacks that really have to prove themselves this year. And let's speak on the Bears first. I liked what I saw from Caleb Williams tonight. It looked on time, it looked on schedule, and when he needed to be off schedule and make a play, he did. This looks like a whole totally different Bears team. Even though they didn't win tonight, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. That's just the way this game goes. But this is a totally different Bears team, and they're going to put up a fight against a lot of the good teams, and they're going to be, I think they're going to be in a playoff hunt this year. This looks like a totally different Bears team from the offense to the defense. Offensively, I think Ben Johnson has it with Caleb Williams. I think he knows what he wants to do with his guy, and he knows he has a plan. And you can see it in Caleb Williams' play. You know, he's not going to sit back there and take a lot of sacks. He's going to take his check down read. He's going to take his read. And I think, watching Caleb this game, that Ben Johnson has him in the right path. You know what I mean? It's not all about making a big play. It's not always making a 50-yard touchdown pass. Sometimes you got to take the check down, especially playing the defense like the Vikings. But I think I like what I saw with Caleb Williams because I'm being honest with you. I didn't really like what I saw, from Caleb Williams all the way back to USC and Oklahoma with, just the erratic play and the running around the field and trying to make the big play every play. I really didn't like what I saw, and I really wasn't a believer because once you play like that for a long time, it's hard to break somebody out that cycle. You know what I mean? But I think Ben Johnson has instilled in him, you don't always have to make the big play. Sometimes sometimes I call the wrong play, or sometimes the defense has a better look for what the play I call. Sometimes you got to just get out of there with a 1 or 2 yard gain. And tonight I did see a lot of growth from Caleb Williams, and that was the good part that I saw. There was some bad, of course, but what I saw was he did grow. But I feel like when the pressure is on Caleb, he goes back to I need to, you know what I mean? He did miss a lot of big throws that he could have had by just taking his first read, which is fine. But just like, I was watching the game, Troy Aikman says, okay, that's fine. You're taking your read, you're taking what you see, but you have bigger plays down the field if you would look, or if you would just, read the field instead of saying my first read's there, boom, I'm taking it. But again, he's still growing as a player. He didn't take sacks. He was on time. He was on schedule. And when he needed to make a play, he did. And again, they didn't play a perfect game. Caleb didn't play a perfect game. The Bears didn't play a perfect game. But if I'm a player in the locker room, of course you're mad you lost. But we're going to be okay. This is the first game of the season. This is a marathon. This isn't a sprint. And I think one thing that the Bears have to address is they need to run the ball. And that's going to be a problem because Ben Johnson's whole offense is predicated on play action. And I get you're playing a Vikings defense, or a hell of a defense, a hell of a front seven, but it's going to be a problem if they can't run the ball. And that was the big problem tonight. The Vikings, they were sending 5 every play because they are not going to let you run the ball. And that was the big thing in the second half was we're putting the ball in his hands. If he beats us, we'll live with it. And that was the big adjustment that was in the second half. They did not let them run the ball. They said, we're going to put the ball in Caleb Williams' hands. We're going to let Ben Johnson try to figure us out. And that was a big difference. They couldn't run the ball. And I get you're playing the Vikings, but if that's how the Vikings are, or if that's how the Bears are going to play, I think it's going to be a big problem because right now in this type of offense, or this, this Ben Johnson era, you have to run the ball with Caleb Williams. You can't have him throw the ball 40 35, 40 times. Not yet. Not just yet. And I think now you can kind of see the difference in their offense now. This offense is real basic. It's not how, the Lions, you can tell the difference between the Lions and this team, which you're not going to get that yet with the trick plays and the extensive, crossing and all that in Ben Johnson's offense. But right now, this is the basic offense. And if they can't run the ball, it's going to be a long season for the Bears. Because right now, I don't believe you can put the ball in his hands 35, 40 times just yet and say, go win, it's a football game. And that was the big difference tonight, was the Vikings pretty much said, put the ball in his hands, and if he beats us, we'll live with it. And again, the Bears and Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and the whole team played well. They played fantastic, but it is a long game, and it's a tale of two halves, and that they got outcoached in the second half. They prepared in the second half. They made adjustments in the second half. And again, I think the Bears will be fine. Going on to the Vikings now. Oof. JJ McCarthy, he had me. He had me saying, "Uh-oh. Did they make a mistake? Did they make a mistake letting Sam Darnold leave in that first half?" And again, I can only imagine my first start. I'm going to Chicago Bears. I'm going to the Chicago Bears Stadium. They're fired up. They got Ben Johnson over there. They got Caleb Williams. The fans are going crazy. I can only imagine that being my first ever NFL start. And in the first half, it looked fast. The game for JJ McCarthy, it looked fast. It looked fast. The pass rush had him. Kind of speeding up his offense, and I was like, oh shit, they might have he doesn't look good. They might have made a mistake letting Sam Darnold leave, but again, that's why we're just people that look. That's why we analyze the game. We're not coaches. We're not GMs. Because me, I would have been like, oh shit, I might have messed up. But JJ McCarthy, and he played a hell of a game, and I can only commend that young man, because that second half was a masterclass of why he won a national championship with Michigan, and why he's a winner, and why they took him. Because after throwing that pick six, I don't believe there are veteran quarterbacks that can respond the way he did. After a pick six, you go down 17-6. We already can't score. We're demoralized. As an offense, we're like, God damn, man, like, yeah, this is over. But again, he shows why he's a winner, and he showed why they took him high in the draft. And one thing that I love, he kept his poise, man. Like, he kept the game going, and this is why coaches matter. From Kevin O'Connell to Ben Johnson, coaches, I think, in the NFL matter 100%, because Kevin O'Connell, he never took the ball out of his hand. He never took the ball out of JJ McCarthy's hand. He leaned on the run a little bit more, but he never stopped calling. I believe he never stopped calling his game, and that was the big thing. He keeps his quarterbacks confident, and that's why I love Kevin O'Connell. No matter if the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, Kevin O'Connell, he's gonna play his game, and he's never gonna let his quarterback lack confidence. And I can also commend Josh McCown. He's over there too. You can see they're always talking, always in his ear. And JJ McCarthy played a hell of a game in that second half. The first half didn't look so good. He looked rushed. He looked uncomfortable. He looked like this was his first NFL start. Deer in the headlights. Oh shit, what's going on? I think in that second half, when he got that first drive to go, he got comfortable. The game slowed down. He got comfortable. He got poised. And one thing I think a lot of people overlook in this game is the confidence that the Vikings have in him overall. And I mean, one thing that I really respect is Justin Jefferson. He never complains, man. I've never seen, he probably has thrown a little temper, but I've never seen him like publicly, hooting and hollering on the sideline, throwing his helmet. I've never seen that. And he had like one catch for 4 yards, but he never complained. I love that about Justin Jefferson, and that can also instill the confidence in your quarterback as well. And I just think, overall, both of these teams, I think, are gonna be very good. You know what I mean? I think the Bears are on the right path. I believe they got the coach and they got the quarterback, because you can see it. This team looks totally different from other teams. Like I said, even though you lost, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Both quarterbacks, they both did stuff bad, and that's okay. But that's all you can ask for. Like I said in my other video, this is the first week. All you can ask for is execution and effort. And I believe both teams, both quarterbacks, both players, they both made the right plays and they executed right, and everybody had a great effort. You know what I mean? And the second half for the Bears didn't look so good, and I just think it's because, they can't run the ball. I'm not gonna blame it on Caleb. He missed some throws. He missed a lot of deeper throws down the field that you can see Ben Johnson's high-low concepts when somebody's sitting in his zone and then you have a crosser coming over the top. The crosser's open, but again, he's going to take his first read because he doesn't want to sit back there and take sacks. He took 68 sacks last year. And again, I think they're going to look at this film and say, you have the time now. We revamped this offensive line. You have the time to make that deeper down the field throw instead of taking this throw. This throw's not bad, but this throw is even better. And for the Bears, Caleb Williams started with 10 for 10, and this is, I think he's the right guy. I think they got their quarterback and coach combo. They're on the right path. You know what I mean? It's going to take some time. He's coming from always having to be the superhero, always having to make the big play, always having to skip out of the, pocket and stuff, to having a coach that's going to say, no, you're going to run this play, you're going to make this read, and you're going to execute. You know what I mean? And I think, that's big for him. It's just being on time and executing right now. And for the Vikings, it's the same thing. You have a young quarterback, made his first NFL start, and he prevailed. He looked like he got comfortable in the second half. The game slowed down a lot for him in the second half. And this was a hell of a game, because I love watching these young guys and seeing what they can do when the lights are the brightest. It's Monday Night Football. And the highs and lows of the game. When you're on top for the Bears, you're rolling. The Vikings, you're still struggling to get stuff going, but then it flips. JJ McCarthy, the Vikings, they're on the highest of the high. The Bears are on the lowest of the lows. And both teams answered. You're down 10, you still go down and score. You make it a 3-point game, and it is what it is. And I think both teams are on the right path, and this is probably one of my favorite games, because I love seeing these young guys, especially these quarterbacks and these coach combos, seeing what they can do, man, when the lights are the brightest. And yeah, that was my big takeaway, man. The big takeaway for me is the Bears have their guys. They're on the right path, and I think the Vikings they're gonna look at JJ McCarthy a little bit different after this game. Everybody in that locker room, from the vets to everybody, from the coach, owner, vet players, everybody, because he fought his ass off, man. To go out like that and have a bad first half and throw a pick six and then still answer and rally the guys, they're gonna look at him a whole lot different. But yeah, man, this was another episode of the Head of the Game podcast, Instant Reaction, man. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys thought, man. I think these quarterbacks are both gonna be good. And I think they have the right coaches and the right people around them. And I think they're both on the right path. But you guys let me know in the comments. Appreciate you guys listening to me. Catch you guys on the next one.